Hello and welcome to Vanilla's simple, easy, no big deal microscope tutorial. So you're in a biology class and you're learning all about living things. And you've even started going to a couple of labs. Your first lab was probably all about the lab safety rules and laboratory equipment. Your second lab probably introduced the scientific method and made sure that you know how to write a good lab report. But now we're really getting into the thick of things and you're getting to the real biology. And you're actually getting to use the tools that real biologists use, like the microscope. But before you can use that microscope to see some really amazing things, like the fly's leg, or this praying mantis, or cells in different states of division, your teacher's probably going to want you to know a little bit more about this instrument we call the microscope. The first thing you want to know is that there's 3 different types of microscopes that biology classes usually focus on: the light microscope, the transmission electron microscope, and the scanning electron microscope. So this is our light microscope. It uses lights and lenses in order to magnify objects, sometimes up to 1,000 times. We use a model here at Beekman from Flynn Scientific that magnifies up to 400 times. The good thing about the light microscope is it can be used for viewing living specimens. Unfortunately, the electron microscopes can't be used for living specimens. You're hitting them with a beam of electrons and they have to be prepared a certain way. The scanning electron microscope, for example, you have to coat your specimen in a resin or some type of metal. So no living specimens, but it can magnify millions of times. This is a cow ant, nice and close. The transmission electron microscope is for internal structures. So when you prepare these specimens, they have to be cut tissue thin. So again, no living specimens, but magnified millions of times. You really get to see some detail. You, in your laboratory, are going to be using the light microscope. So you should probably get to know its parts a little better. We're going to focus in on the microscope to give you a closer look. A great place to start with the parts of the microscope is this piece right here and this piece down here. This is called the arm of the microscope, and this is called the base. Whenever carrying a microscope, you should always carry it by the arm and the base. Coming back up to the top, this is called your eyepiece. The eyepiece is also known as the ocular lens, and it has a lens that magnifies 10 times. Keep that in mind. We'll be talking about it again when we reach our objective lenses. So again, this is the eyepiece or ocular lens. This is the body tube area of your microscope, and it's where the magic happens, where the lights and the lenses do their work magnifying your object. This piece is called the revolving nose piece. It rotates to allow you to set different objectives into place. So these are the objectives. There is a low, medium, and high objective on this microscope. The low magnification is 4 times. So if you're viewing something under the lowest objective, you have to remember that the ocular lens has a magnification of 10. So you're actually viewing it at 40 times the magnification. Another thing to remember is that each time you change the objective, you are increasing magnification, but you are decreasing the field of view. This is your stage, where you will place your slides and specimens. Attached to the stage clips, you'll place your slide in here and hold them down with those stage clips, but you'll still be able to move them around. That brings us to another important point. Everything is reversed in the microscope. If you move your slide left, it's going to move right. If you move your slide up, it's going to move down. Keep that in mind because you'll want to know that when you're looking for specific things in the microscope that you want to point at. The next thing we have is the coarse focus. Notice when I turn this knob, the stage actually moves. This will help you get your first view of what is ever on your slide. Once you have a view of what's on your slide, you sharpen the image using the fine focus. The light comes in right down here. On the side or underneath your microscope stage will be something called a diaphragm. The diaphragm is used to let more or less light in, helping you to really get a good view of whatever it is you're trying to see. So one more time, let's go through those parts. Eyepiece, body tube, revolving nose piece, objectives, stage, stage clips, arm, coarse focus, fine focus, light, diaphragm, and base. So you've got this, right? Simple, easy, no big deal. It's time for a quiz. I'll point to each piece on the microscope, give you a few seconds to respond, and then I'll tell you the right answer. Eyepiece, body tube, revolving nose piece, objective, stage, stage clip, diaphragm, arm, coarse focus, fine focus, light, and base. Got it? Well, if you don't understand all of the parts yet, please don't fret. As I mentioned, this is simple, easy, no big deal. So what I'm going to do is have some of my students come in and help you review. They're going to do the same thing. They'll point at a piece on the microscope, give you a second to respond, and then give you the correct answer. Good luck.